Good morning, everyone. So, good morning, Pooja. Good morning, Kishore. So, coming back to our discussions on earnings per share. In the last session, we saw an introduction to what you are already familiar with. Principles, at least till the last session, we have seen everything what you people had studied under the intermediate accounting standard 20 that dealt with earnings per share. So when we saw this earnings per share, we saw why it is critical. It is the one figure that marries the market with the financial reporting. The criticality of this is visible from the fact that we disclose the EPS right on the face of the P&L, and then we do give a disclosure of that, how it is computed, etc. in the notes. So from your disclosure perspective, a very, very important figure. And then we moved on to understanding certain special aspects like increasing rate preference shares. How do I do the treatment? And after that, we saw what is the meaning of weighted average number of equity shares. We saw what does it mean to calculate the numerator, that is net profit attributable to equity shareholders. We saw that the EPS is computed from the perspective of that equity shares which are subordinate to all other categories of shares present in the capital structure. So that we did. Then we saw weighted average number. In weighted average number, we saw that we do a time weighted calculation for the number of equity shares. And finally, after that, we moved on to calculation of EPS in the event of a bonus where there are no resources getting added, or in the case of the rights where there is a bonus element to the issue that has happened. Okay. So then I trust you people would have done the homework questions pertaining to bonus as well as rights issue. And there was one question on buyback. So I hope you would have had the time to do that as well. Okay. So with that, we conclude our discussions on basic EPS. Anybody has any doubts till now? Whatever we have discussed, any doubts? No doubt? Okay, so we assume that whatever is covered till now, there are no doubts. And let us proceed to the next category of discussions. That is today's session will be on diluted EPS. Okay, so till now what we computed was the basic EPS. We then move on to something known as diluted EPS. Now, what do you mean by diluted? Diluted means a reduction in EPS, a reduction in EPS, or an increase in loss per share. The opposite of dilution is anti-dilution, which increases the EPS or a reduction in loss per share. So why do I have this diluted EPS? This is one of the forward-looking numbers that is present in your financials. Okay, one of the forward-looking numbers. Forward-looking numbers comes from the sense that I need to give an information to my shareholders that all factors remaining constant, operations remaining constant, if there are some events that take place which are not operationally being affected, but rather by virtue of the capital structure, there are some certain events that happen which have the effect of increasing the capital or increasing the number of shares in the capital structure, then how does my EPS look like? Then how does my EPS look like? So in that sense, I am moving to the future to look at how the EPS gets impacted, to look at how the EPS gets impacted. So, what are these categories of instruments where the shares or the number of shares will increase? Well, it could be certain convertible instruments that are getting converted, or options or warrants are exercised, or ordinary shares are issued upon satisfaction of certain specified conditions. So all these things are present in your capital structure, which is why in the future, number of shares can increase. And by virtue of increase in the number of shares in the future, you are going to end up with a change in the EPS. So that is known as your diluted EPS. If the EPS is lower than the basic EPS that we compute. It is anti-dilutive if the future EPS is more than what I have computed in the current period. Is it okay? So why does this happen? This happens because of the presence of potential ordinary shares in the capital structure. A potential ordinary share is a financial instrument or other contract that may entitle its holder to ordinary shares. Example, convertible preference shares or debentures, options and warrants, contingently issued shares, etc. Is it okay? Have you understood till now? Yes?
Yes, sir.
All right. So let's then proceed further. How do I compute my diluted EPS? Principles are the same. Basic, it was net profit attributable to equity shareholders. Now they just put in one word, adjusted net profit. And the denominator was weighted average number. Here it will become adjusted weighted average number. We adjust it for the effects of the dilution. We adjust it for the effects of the dilution. Okay. What all do I compute? Profit or loss attributable to ordinary equity holders, and then from both continuing and discontinuing operations, number one, as well as from continuing operations attributable to those equity holders. Is it okay? Yes. Okay. So, methods of computing is given, but anyways, let us start with the questions themselves. Okay. In the questions, I'm sure we will be getting much clarity that we are looking for, and that should be able to clarify a lot of things for you. Okay. All right. Illustration 7, entity A has in issue 25,000 4% debentures with a nominal value of rupee 1. The debentures are convertible to ordinary shares at a rate of 1:1 at any time until 20x9. The entity's management receives a bonus based on 1% of profit before tax. Entity A's results for 20x2 showed a profit before tax of 80,000, a profit after tax of 64,000. For simplicity, a tax rate of 20% is assumed in this question. Calculate earnings for the purposes of diluted EPS. Okay. So now the point is we have to start with 64,000, which is my net profit attributable to equity shareholders for basic EPS. Do you agree with this? Do you agree with this? Yes, fair enough.
Yes,
Now,
sir.
now, are there potential ordinary shares in the capital structure?
Yes, sir. 1:1.
Convertible to ordinary shares at the rate of 1:1. Okay. Now, if in the future I convert my potential ordinary shares, I convert my debentures into shares, what is the impact on profitability?
सर इंटरेस्ट ऐड बैक हो जाएगा एंड
Interest add back हो जाएगा. That's right. So 25,000 into 4%. This is reduction in interest cost. How many of us agree with this? Yes. यहाँ तक ठीक है? Now, if interest cost reduces, income tax thereon will increase. Yes. 1,000 into 20%. So that gives you
200.
200. अच्छा, बात इतने पे ही खत्म हो जाती है क्या?
The management bonus will also increase.
Yes, management receives a bonus based on 1% of profit before tax. So less management bonus. कितना होगा उसका?
10.
10 rupees. Yes. क्या लिखा है? Receives
Yes,
the bonus
1%.
of 1% on profit before tax. So 1000 into 1%. So that reduces by 10. And if that reduces by 10, can I say tax benefit will go up? Yes.
Yes.
10 into 20%. So that is 2. So that's it. So this comes to how much?
64,792.
64,792. This is earnings for the purpose of diluted EPS. Are we okay with this? Earnings for the purpose of diluted EPS. Any doubts? Okay. See, obviously, ये इतना आसान नहीं होगा because ये जो instruments हैं, these are financial instruments जिसका treatment you will be studying. So we have obviously ignored the treatment, and this assumption is given in the institute solution as well, that we have not classified it as liability, equity, taken the finance cost, because all of that data is not given. You need market rate of interest, you need the coupon rate, then the discounting will be done. And then, you will do the split between equity and liabilities, and then you will calculate the finance cost. So obviously, इतना सारा detail के लिए data दिया नहीं है. We have not computed. But more importantly, what we have done is we have shown that how the impact will happen. How the impact will happen. Okay, so that takes care of illustration 7. Any doubts so far? No doubts? Okay. So let us move on to the next one. For the purposes of computation of diluted EPS, what should be what should be assumed as the exercisable price of options that are exercisable at a price which is not fixed? For example, in a case where it is known that such options are to be exercised at a price ranging between 45 to 55, what exercise period should be used for computing the diluted EPS? Yes. बोलो. Yes. See, dilution का मतलब क्या है? What is the meaning of dilution?
सर कन्वर्टेड कुछ भी शेयर्स ऐड हो जाना, एड ऑन शेयर्स एंड डिवाइड ईपीएस रिड्यूस.
उससे क्या होगा? आपका ईपीएस कम दिखाना है या ज्यादा दिखाना है?
कम
ईपीएस
दिखेगा सर.
कम दिखाना चाहिए.
Yes. So basically, dilution is exhibiting conservatism. Yes. I want to be conservative and show that आगे चल के मेरा EPS कम होगा. Have you understood, Shabbir? Yes. So
Yes,
that is your intent. Now, I have given options to my equity holders. Okay. Sorry, I have given options to certain people. Okay. To certain category of persons. Now, if I have to show that it is convertible and it will increase the value, it will increase the dilution. When I say increase dilution means ईपीएस और भी कम होगा। कब होगा? when the exercise price is high, that time will the options be exercised, or when it is low, it will be exercised more?
It will be low when exercises more.
Yes. तो मतलब 45 रुपीस का अगर मैं अज्यूम करूंगा एक्सरसाइज प्राइस, then there will be maximum potential for dilution. Have you understood? Yes, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
If I take it 55, उतने शेयर मिलेंगे ही नहीं जितने 45 पे मिल रहे थे. So my worst case scenario for EPS will be only if the exercise price is lowest. Did you understand? Yes. Did you understand?
Yes.
All right. So that takes care of this question. Okay. So what is it saying? This is not 30. This has to be 45. At 45, it would be most advantageous to the holder of the options as it would result in minimal cost of acquisition per share. Hence, rupees 45 would be considered as the exercise price, being the most advantageous exercise price from the standpoint of the holder of these options. Is it okay? Yes. All right. Now let us proceed further. Okay. Acha. See, these set of questions, we are just following what you have already done in your intermediate. The objective is to explain to you what do I mean by diluted EPS. But we will have further category of questions where financial instruments are applicable. So actually your overall EPS must be computed in line with provisions of Ind AS. But right now, we are not going into those complexities because right now the objective is to make you understand about the diluted EPS calculations. Okay. All right. Darbhanga Limited gives you the following information to compute the diluted EPS. Net profit for the year is 2 crores. Number of equity shares outstanding is 40 lakhs. Basic EPS is 5. Number of 11% convertible debentures of rupees 100 each. Each debenture is convertible into 8 equity shares, 50,000. Interest expense for the current year is rupees 5 lakh 50. Tax saving related to interest expenses 1 lakh 65,000. Okay. So now let us come to this. It is question 16. It is question 16. All right. So let us start. What is your basic EPS?
Mm.
2 crores divided
Divided by 40,000. मतलब 40 lakh.
lakhs,
40 lakh.
40 lakh shares. Rupees 5 per share. Are we okay with this?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Any doubts? Anyone so far? No doubts? Okay. So let us then proceed further. Now, do I have potential equity shares in the capital structure?
Yes, sir.
Yes, 11% convertibles. Again, ideally, I should be using financial instruments concepts, but the data is not given here. So right now, we will do the regular method, what you are already conversant with. Okay. All right. Now, always remember the starting point for your EPS is all for your diluted EPS is always going to be the basic EPS plus certain adjustments. Basic plus adjustments. So, diluted EPS is going to be 2 crores divided by 40,000 shares plus. Yes. All right. Now you will have to help me out. Look at the data. What is your interest that you are going to save additionally in the future? What is your interest that you are going to save in the future?
5,50,000 minus 165.
Yes. Is everybody okay with that? 5,50,000, because once my debentures are converted, that will result in the saving. That will result in the saving of the interest cost, 5,50,000. But because of that savings in interest, your tax also will go up. So the tax saving is 1,65,000. Therefore, I'm just writing here net interest saved is equal to 5,50,000 minus 1,65,000. So that comes to how much?
3,85,000.
3,85,000. So basic plus rupees 3,85,000. And this will be divided by how many shares? What are the additional convertible shares? Each debenture convertible into 8 equity shares. Is it okay?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes. So that comes to how much? Number of debentures is
4
50,000. 1,000 into it is 4 lakhs. Yes. So that comes to rupees 2 crore 3,85,000 divided by 40 lakhs. 44 lakh shares. So that comes to how much?
4.6.
4.63.
632 633.
ठीक है, ठीक है, ठीक है. Acha, the moment you calculate, you will compare this with this. Is there a reduction in EPS?
Yes, sir. 5 to 4.63.
5 से 4.63 हो गया है. So there is a reduction in EPS. So therefore, this can be the reported diluted EPS. Are we okay with this? Yes.
Yes, sir.
All right. So now let us move on to the next one. While calculating diluted EPS, effect is given to all dilutive potential ordinary shares that were outstanding during that period. Accordingly, calculate diluted EPS from the following information. Net profit for the current year is given. Number of equity shares outstanding is given. 8% convertible debentures of rupees 100 each is given. Interest expense for the current year is 6 lakhs. And tax relating to interest expenses is 30%. Yes?
I gave it to homework.
You want to do this for homework?
Yes, sir.
Everyone? Yes. यहाँ पे ना, there is just one adjustment. This interest expense for the current year is already given to you. तो आप अगर देखोगे 1 lakh into 100, so that comes to 1 crore into 8%. 8 lakh should have been your interest expense, but it is only 6 lakhs. So debentures have been issued during the year. It's not there throughout the year. Is it okay? समझ में आ गया ना?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Interest will be 1 lakh into rupees 100 into 8%. So that comes to 8 lakhs. But actually interest expense is given to be 6 lakhs. So 6 by 8. So that is your number of, what you can say, number of months that the debentures are in issue. So that will come to 9. Okay, that will come.
9.
So when you are doing your, what you say, dilution, and जब आप ये वाला step करोगे, this step, when you are doing this step, you will add how much? You are going to add 1 lakh into how many shares? Into 10 shares into 9 by 12. Is it okay? Yes, because the
Yes,
debentures
sir.
are in issue only for 9 out of the 12 months. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. So that takes care of this question. Okay. So I leave it to you for homework. Okay. Next. Calculate basic and diluted EPS of Meghna Limited from the following particulars. Equity shares at the beginning of the year, 50 lakh shares. Net profit after tax for the year, rupees 2 crores. Issue of shares for cash on 1st July, 10 lakh shares. Issue of bonus shares on 1st October, 1:5 as at the beginning of the year. That is 10 lakh shares. Convertible debentures outstanding at the beginning of the year, 10% debentures for rupees 1 crore. Conversion ratio, 1 share for 1 convertible debenture. Company tax rate is 40%. Yes. All right. Now, do you want to do this for homework or shall we do it together?
Homework, sir, again.
Homework? Yes. Unanimously?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Pooja, Shabir, Savita, कर लोगे
Yes,
homework के लिए? Yes.
homework.
Mamta? Okay, fine. Very good. You people are telling you want to do homework. That is the happiest thing. Okay. All right. Next. Next. ABC has 10 lakh rupee 1 ordinary shares and 1000 rupees 100 10% convertible bonds issued at par, each convertible into 20 ordinary shares on demand, all of which have been in issue for the whole of the reporting period. ABC Limited's share price is rupees 4.5 per share. Earnings for the period are rupees 5 lakhs. Tax rate is 21%. Calculate basic EPS. Earnings per incremental share for the convertible bonds and the diluted EPS. Okay. So what is your basic EPS? What is your basic EPS?
5 lakh divided by 1 lakh.
5 lakhs divided by
10 lakhs.
10 lakhs.
Sorry,
0.5 rupees.
Yes.
0.5.
Rupees 0.5 per share. Okay. Now, incremental share. What they have asked? Sorry, earnings per incremental share. Earnings per incremental share. कैसे calculate करेंगे? I have 1000 convertible bonds, each convertible into 20 ordinary
20
shares
ordinary
on
shares.
demand. Yes. So 1000 into 20, 20,000 ordinary shares. Okay. Now, 20,000 shares. Is it okay? Yes. Now, what is your incremental earnings? If these bonds are converted into shares, how much interest are you going to save?
10% of 1,000 shares.
So
1,000 debentures, sorry.
1,000 into rupees 100 into 10%
10%.
into
21% of tax rate.
1
मतलब
minus 0.21. Is it okay? You are able to follow this? Bolo,
Yes, sir.
7,900 हो जाएगा. 7,900. 0.40. Are we able to follow? Follow.
Yes, sir.
Yes, all right. Therefore, diluted EPS is equal to basic rupees 5 lakh by 10 lakh shares plus on dilution
7,000.
7,900 plus
20,000.
20,000 shares. So that will come to 5,07,900 divided by 10,20,000 per share. Is it okay? Yes. So compare this with this. Is it dilutive?
Yes, sir.
So this will be your reported number. Okay. Yes. Done. Jeannie, did you understand? Kishore, Mamta, Niranjan, Shabir, Usha, Savita.
यस सर.
Yes, all well. Okay.
सर एक बार रिपीट कर दीजिए.
अच्छा एक बार रिपीट करें. Okay.
Yes.
See. रिपीट ही करना है तो नए सिरे से करते हैं. ओके. ऑल राइट. Currently, earnings for the period is 5 lakhs and I'm having 10 lakh shares. So basic EPS is equal to rupees 5 lakh by 10 lakh shares. So rupees 0.5 per share. यहां तक सबको ठीक है? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Now, क्या पूछ रहा है? Earnings per incremental share. Incremental share मतलब क्या? For every extra share that will be issued, what will be the EPS implication? Okay, so that is equal to C. It is having 1,000 bonds of rupees 100 each at 10% rate of interest. So 1,000 bonds into 10% rate of interest. And what is the face value of the bond? Rupees 100. Rupees 100. Is it okay?
यस सर.
And this I'm going to multiply it by 1 minus 2 1 because with the savings in interest, tax also component will come in, right? So that I will multiply it by 1 minus 0.21. So is this okay?
Yes, sir.
Shabir, did you follow? Yes?
Yes, sir.
All right. ठीक है. Now, so that is done. Divided by what is the number of shares which you are going to get? Each convertible into 20 ordinary shares on demand. 20 ordinary shares on demand. Is it okay? Yes. So 1000 bonds into 20 ordinary shares. So divided by 20,000 shares. What are these 20,000 shares? These are the incremental amounts. These are the incremental shares that are being issued. Okay. So that comes to rupees 0.39. 7,900 by 20,000 comes to how much? 0.
0.395.
सर एक
हाँ,
चीज आपसे पूछनी है
बताइए.
कि अर्निंग पर इंक्रीमेंटल शेयर जो हम निकाल रहे हैं हमने लिखा है 1,000 इंटू 100 कन्वर्टेबल बॉन्ड्स, मतलब
Yes,
टोटल 1,000 कन्वर्टेबल बॉन्ड्स हैं जिनका फेस वैल्यू 100 रुपीज है
yes,
और 10% जो है उसके ऊपर हमें इंटरेस्ट हमें पे करना पड़ रहा है। तो
yes.
मतलब है कि ऊपर ही टोटल हमारा इंटरेस्ट हो गया, इंटरेस्ट की वैल्यू हो गई
ये
और इसको हम
इंटरेस्ट की वैल्यू हो गई. हाँ जी. यस,
और इसको हम डिवाइड करें जितने हमने जितने शेयर्स इंक्रीमेंटल हमें मिल रहे हैं, करेक्ट?
यस, यस.
ठीक है, ओके।
जितने हमें इश्यू करने पड़ेंगे. ओके.
हाँ जी,
एंड उसको हम मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे विद द टैक्स, विद द डिफरेंशियल बिटवीन. मतलब अगर मेरा इंटरेस्ट सेविंग होगा देन उसके ऊपर टैक्स भी आएगा.
हाँ जी,
So therefore, tax saving का एक multiplier we are going to add. Yes, 1 minus 0.21. So I'm net going to save 79% of this value, which is basically 100 minus 21% of tax rate. Is it okay?
यस सर।
Yes. So earnings per incremental share ये हो गया. And then if I talk about diluted EPS, this is going to be डाइल्यूटेड के लिए स्टार्टिंग पॉइंट इज ऑलवेज बेसिक ईपीएस एंड देन यू कैन टेक दिस एडजस्टमेंट्स प्लस 7,900 plus 20,000 shares. So this comes to how much? So that comes to,
0.498.
yes, 0.498. Always have a habit of comparing 0.498 versus 0.5. Is it okay?
यस सर।
Yes. तो ये हो गया हमारा illustration 8.
सर
Yes.
यहाँ पे ये लाइन क्यों मेंशन है? शेयर प्राइस इज 4.5 पर शेयर.
ABC Limited's share price is 4.5 per share is just an information that is given to you. कुछ नहीं करना है उसका. Okay? Please don't do anything for that. बस it's just mentioned as it is.
ओके सर.
Okay. All right. Next. This is from Test Your Knowledge. On 1st January, there are 10 lakh shares in issue, 5% convertible bonds of 1 lakh rupees, conversion 120 ordinary shares for rupees 100. 31st March, holders of 25,000 bonds converted to ordinary shares. Profit for the year ended 31st December, 2 lakhs. Tax rate is 30%. Calculate basic and diluted EPS. Ignore the need to split the convertible bonds into liability and equity elements. Yes. Do you want to try, or do you want to do for homework, or do we do together? क्या चाहिए?
Homework.
पूजा होमवर्क, मोनिका,
Homework, sir.
सविता,
Yes, sir, homework.
जीनी, जीनी is quiet. अच्छा, शब्बीर, उषा,
Yes, sir. Homework.
you are okay to do this for homework, because what is happening here is there is an actual conversion that is happening partly in the middle of the year, and then we have to compute both the basic as well as the diluted. तो कर लोगे, और फिर should I'll do one thing, I'll take it up with you so that you will be comfortable. Okay, because सब कुछ होमवर्क पे छोड़ देंगे, so it's not advisable. Okay, all right. Now, if I look at the timeline, calendar year, so 1st of January to 31st of December. And then I am having a conversion that happens on 31st of March. Okay. So shares in issue कितने थे? 10 lakhs. 10 lakh shares. And then terms of conversion, 120 ordinary shares for rupees 100. 120 ordinary shares for rupees 100. Okay. So conversion is equal to 25,000 into 120 by 100. यही बोला है ना?
हाँ जी.
Yes. So that comes to 30,000. Yes. Is it okay? Plus original shares in issue. So that is how much? 10 lakh. So total is 10 lakh 30,000 shares. Is it okay? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Therefore, weighted average number of equity shares is 10 lakh into 3 by 12. 10
Sir,
lakh. Yes.
next के लिए 3 बाइट अच्छा ठीक है आपने क्यूमुलेटिव लिया है.
Yes.
31st March.
7, 7.
9 by 12. ठीक है, sir.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yes. 10 lakh 22,500. Is it okay? Any doubts?
No, sir. Clear.
अच्छा, ऑल्टरनेटिवली आप क्या कर सकते हो? 10 lakh shares into 12 by 12
हाँ.
plus
30,000
30,000 shares
into 9 by 12.
9 by 12. आप ऐसे भी करोगे, आपको आंसर वही आएगा.
हम्म.
Okay, you can do any of these things. Okay, all right, fine. Done.
Yes, sir.
Therefore, कितना प्रॉफिट कमाया है? 2 lakhs. divided by 10,22,500 shares. So 2 lakh is the profit earned divided by 10,22,500 weighted average number of equity shares. So that comes to 0.196 per share. Is it okay? Basic EPS is fine?
Yes, sir.
All right. ठीक है. Coming next, diluted EPS. Now, diluted EPS always starts where the basic EPS ends. Yes. Okay. Now, how many bonds are still left for conversion?
75,000.
25,000.
Yes. So that will be 75,000 into 120 by 100. Yes.
Yes, sir.
सर ये क्यों किया?
Diluted, na? So
Which
out of 1 lakh worth of bonds, 25,000 worth are already converted. So remaining 75,000 अभी भी है ना conversion के लिए.
हाँ जी.
Yes. तो इसके लिए हमने add किया because that will be converted in the future. Yes. And when those bonds are converted, I will save on the interest. It is 5% conversion. So 75,000
less interest,
into 5%
tax.
into tax. What is tax rate? 30%. So therefore net मेरा saving हो गया
Percent.
70%. Right? Yes or no? 100 minus 30%, 1 minus 0.3. Yes?
ठीक है सर. ओके फाइन.
Convinced, na?
हाँ जी.
Okay. Jeannie, all okay? Pooja,
Yes,
all
sir.
okay? Shabbir, all okay? Mamta, Kishore, Niranjan, Usha, all fine? Okay.
So, but
Fine.
75,000 are not converting in this financial year. It is not mentioned
So
like.
it's not converting. That is why it is forming part of diluted EPS. Yes.
Potential equity.
Potential equity it is. Okay, Shabbir.
Okay, sir.
What are we calculating, beta? We are calculating diluted. Basic में I have taken only 25,000 which is actually converted. Yes. Yes or no?
Okay, sir.
So 75,000 is yet to convert. So it is potential. Is it okay?
Okay, sir.
All right. Now, anything else is left for conversion?
No.
No. Monica, Pooja,
सर ये जो 25,000 शेयर से वो मिड ऑफ द ईयर कन्वर्ट हुए हैं, तो बिफोर मिड ऑफ द ईयर इनका कुछ वैल्यू था
yes.
जो वैल्यूएशन में आना चाहिए.
Yes. So in this tenure, 25,000 shares had not been converted. Had not been converted. So therefore, for these 3 months, can I say that these 25,000 shares were potentially convertible? Conversion happened on 31st March. Thereafter, it is already there in my basic EPS. But for the period from 1st December to 31st March, can I say that these shares were present in the capital structure as potentially convertible shares?
Yes,
Yes
sir.
or no? And therefore,
सर
I
हम तो
will.
बॉन्ड्स को कन्वर्ट कर रहे हैं ना, हम शेयर्स की बात क्यों कर रहे हैं?
Oh, sorry, I meant bonds only. I'm sorry. Okay, 25,000 bonds were converted from 31st March onwards. That means for the 3-month period, that is Q1, 1st January to 31st March, were these bonds converted to shares? Answer is no. Were they convertible? Answer is yes. So were they potential in nature for the first 3 months?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So we will have to consider that. We will have to consider that in the potential conversions. Any doubt? No doubt? बोलो.
सर जो 10,22,500 हमने लिया है उसमें ये इंक्लूडेड नहीं है.
उसमें क्या इंक्लूडेड है? What is included is actual conversion. Yes. आप देखो.
Yes, yes,
You
yes.
are taking 10 lakh for the first 3 months for this period. And for this period, you are taking the actual conversion, right? That means for this period, they are still potential.
Yes.
Yes. So that is why we will have to consider that. 25,000 into 120 by 100 into 3 by 12. Is it okay? Yes. Because 9 by 12 has already been considered here, right? When I did this calculation, 9 by 12 is already considered. So now 3 by 12 is going to come in there. Okay. Yes. Plus. Now, for this dilution, interest is going to be calculated. 25,000 into 5% into 70% into 3 by 12. Is it okay? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Did you understand? 25,000 rupees the value of the bond. 5% is interest thereon. 70% is net of the tax benefit that you are going to get, or net of the tax payment that you are going to make, into for the first quarter only they are potential. So into 3 by 12. Did everyone understand this? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Shabir, did you follow? Niranjan?
Yes, sir. So,
Yes, go ahead.
जो बेसिक है ईपीएस था सर, उसमें अपन ने 10 लाख से क्यों नहीं डिवाइड किए शेयर्स को 2 लाख बाय 10 लाख?
See, because what has happened is, read the question. On 31st March, there has been an actual conversion that has happened. Yes. So, from 31st March onwards, these shares are actually there in my capital structure. They are not potential. Already ये लोग convert कर चुके हैं. Right? So that is why मैं 10 lakh नहीं लूंगा. I will take 10 lakh plus whatever has been converted for whatever period they were present in the capital structure as actual shares. That is 30,000 shares into 9 by 12. Did you understand?
ओके सर, ओके.
Yes. So that is why I am dividing it by 10,22,500. Okay. Yes. So this comes to how much? Plus
2 lakh plus 2625 plus 218.75.
that's right. So 219 कर
Yeah.
सकते हो इसको.
Yes.
Okay, so that comes to that one plus
So 2,02,844 divided by 11,20,000. Sir, 0.181.
हाँ जी. Yes. 11,20,000 shares. So that is equal to 202,844 divided by 11,20,000 shares. So 0.181 per share. Is it okay? Yes. So
Sir.
this,
Sir, uh,
बताइए.
sir, if question was like that, rupees 25,000 bonds converted to ordinary shares, then we have to consider only 25,000 shares, sir. Bonds.
No, I didn't get your question. 25,000
It is
converted to
mentioned
ordinary.
in 31st March,
Mhm.
holder of 25,000 bonds converted to ordinary share.
Yes.
If 31st March was not mentioned, then only we have to take 25,000 bonds are converted.
Okay, then, well, it depends. See, normally holders of 25,000 bonds converted to ordinary shares date will be given. If it is not given, you can take either they are converted right at the beginning of the year, in which case 25,000 will be there in your capital structure right from 1st of January. So क्या होगा? You will take 10 lakh plus 30,000 there for the entire year, and the additions in this dilution जो किया था हमने वो नहीं आएगा. Yes. So you can assume, in absence of information, it is assumed that the conversion has happened on 1st January itself, and therefore these shares were present as equity shares for the entire period, and therefore the calculation is presented as below. Is it okay?
Okay, sir.
You can assume this. You can assume alternatively they are converted at the end of the year on 31st of December. So therefore they were dilutive shares for the entire year, and they came into basic only from next year onwards. Okay, just last day pay they have been converted. So therefore they will be coming in the basic EPS calculation from the next year onwards. Is it okay? Yes.
Okay, sir.
But dates of conversions will be given. Okay. All right. So always have a habit. The moment you calculate diluted, you have to compare the diluted EPS with the basic EPS to see that actually there is a dilution that has happened or not. Is it okay? Yes. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yash Kumar Jain. I think this is final only. Is on the 1 minute. Yash Kumar Jain. Yes, what do you want me to repeat, beta? Please tell me. Okay, it's there on the portal. Okay, all right. Anybody else? Any doubts left in this question? It was a good question, right? It's a fairly good question, because what will happen is all of us will go correct in this. All of us will go correct in this. So this part, I don't expect any challenge by any of you. This we will go correct. This also we will do correctly. What some of us may end up skipping is this part. Okay. So from that perspective, this is a really good question. Okay. All right. Fine. So that takes care of question 2. Now we move on to the next one.
सर
Yes.
अगर किसी को ग्रुप में प्रॉब्लम ना हो, जो भी बच्चे हैं, तो आप प्लीज एक्सप्लेन इन हिंदी टोटली, राइट? अगर प्रॉब्लम ना हो तो.
ओके. मुझे कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, बट प्रॉब्लम इज ये यूट्यूब में है ना, तो
सर मैंने देखा था कि इंटरमीडिएट के जो लेवल्स वाले लेक्चर्स हैं, उनमें से वन ऑफ टीचर इज गिविंग लेक्चर इन हिंदी.
अच्छा.
So that's why I told you कि if
अच्छा.
anyone don't have any problem, then you
यहाँ
will
तो मेरे
have any.
हिसाब से जो भी है दे आर कन्वर्सेंट. मुझे तो कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, बट ठीक है. आई डू वन थिंग. मैं हिंदी में भी बताऊंगा, बट आई विल डेफिनेटली हैव अ रिपीट इन इंग्लिश ऑल्सो, सो दैट इट सूट्स both the categories of students. Okay.
सर
थोड़ा
सर एक्चुअली इंग्लिश से प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, बट देयर इज अ प्रॉब्लम इज ओनली अंडरस्टैंडिंग. जो
correct.
एक नॉर्मल लैंग्वेज में आप हमें बताएंगे वो हमें जल्दी क्रैप होगा, एज कंपेयर टू हम इंग्लिश में समझेंगे उसके.
That's true. That's true. That's
Sir, sorry, shall I interrupt in
yes,
between?
ma'am. Yes,
Beta,
ma'am.
see, the classes are in English. Sir can repeat in Hindi, but your class will not be in Hindi. It is English medium class. It has been well announced in advance that it's an English medium class. Sir can repeat the concept in Hindi, but it won't be the other way around. That sir speaks in Hindi and then repeat in English. So that you have to appreciate. Where in intermediate, which you are referring, there also teacher is not teaching completely in Hindi. They are teaching completely in English. They are repeating in Hindi wherever students find that they are not able to understand properly and they want that to be repeated in Hindi, then only they are doing it. So
Okay,
classes will
ma'am.
be in English only, beta, huh?
Okay, ma'am. No issue. Okay, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. ठीक है. So let's proceed to the next part, next question. Okay. All right. From the following information, compute the basic and diluted EPS of Tamara Limited for 20x1, x2, as well as the adjusted EPS for x2, x3. Assume a tax rate of 30%. Net profit for year ended x1, x2, 75 lakh 50. Net profit for X2, X3, 1 crore 25,000. Number of equity shares at 1st April 20x1, 50 lakh 250. Bonus issue on 1st of January 20x2, 1 share for every 2 held. Number of 12% convertible debentures of rupees 100 each issued on 1st January 20x2, 1 lakh. Conversion ratio of debentures is 10, 10 shares per debenture. Okay. Do you want to try this for homework or shall we do it together? I think we should do it together क्योंकि यहाँ पे ना bonus है. Here you are having issue of convertible debentures in the middle of the year और यहाँ पे आपको x2 x3 का बेसिक भी कैलकुलेट करना है, diluted also you have to calculate, and restated EPS also you will have to calculate. Is it okay? So there are multiple calculations involved, so I think we will run through it together. ठीक है?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So it's better that we run through this together. Solution is there on the sheet that I have already shared, but nonetheless, let's just go through it. Okay, all right. Now, first thing, let us start with, this is question 19. Okay. Now, first, we will compute weighted average number of equity shares. Is it okay? हम पहले weighted average का calculation करेंगे. Now, basic EPS for 20x2 x3, diluted EPS आएगा for 20x2 and then adjusted EPS, adjusted EPS x1 x2. Okay, all these things is what we are going to calculate. Okay, all right. Now, how many shares are there in the beginning? Number of equity shares at 1st April, 50 lakh 250. Number of shares first April 20x1. Is it okay? कितने थे? 50 lakh 250. Do you agree? Yes.
Yes, sir.
And
Yes.
ये shares all years में है. So whether it is diluted EPS, whether it is restated EPS, whether it is basic EPS, for all these shares, For all these years, you are having these shares in issue. So there is no doubt on the existence of these shares throughout the period. Is it okay? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Now, bonus is being issued on 1st January 20x2. One share for every two held. So bonus shares. So bonus shares 1:2 के रेशियो में how much is it? इसका half. So 25 lakh 125. Is it okay?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
Monica,
Yes, sir.
Savita, Kishore, Mamta, Pooja, Usha, all clear?
Yes, sir.
Shabir?
Clear.
ठीक है, so 25 lakh 125. Now let us move next. This is issued on 1st January 20x2. That's what is given. 1st January 20x2. So x2, x3, it is there entirely. January x, मतलब 1st April x2 में था till March x3. So full year it was there. For diluted also, these shares are actually present. So 25 lakh 125. Acha, will I consider them for adjusted EPS of x1, x2? Bolo, yesterday we studied bonus. What do I assume about bonus? They are present in the capital structure since when?
Since starting of the
Beginning
previous,
of the
It's the beginning of the earliest period. मतलब मेरे comparative period जो है उसका opening से it is always present in the capital structure. Now I am calculating for x2 x3 मतलब x1 x2 के beginning से वो है. It is there from the beginning of x1 x2 because my EPS is being computed for the period of x2 x3 comparative x1 x2 earliest period from which the comparatives are beginning. So 1st April x1 onwards it is there. So here also it is 25 lakh 125. Are we okay with this? Any doubts? Any doubts?
No, sir.
No doubts. So let us proceed further. Next, potential equity shares. Acha. Do I have potential equity shares in the capital structure? Yes.
yes,
12% convertible debentures. कितने हैं? 1 lakh. 10 shares per debenture. So how many potential shares? 10 lakh. So 1 lakh into 10, 10 lakh shares. Okay. So I'll just write here potential equity shares is equal to 10 lakh. And when is this issued? 1st January 20x2 with effect from 1st January 20x2. Is it okay? All right. So now I hope hope it's clear. All right. So now coming to the next one, potential equity shares. Acha, basic EPS, will I have potential equity shares as a working
no,
for
sir.
basic EPS? No. So not applicable. Acha, when has this come into issuance? Sir, this has come into issuance from 1st January 20x2. This has come into issuance from 1st January 20x2. That means for 20x2 x3. Yes, for 20x2 x3,
That too for 3 months.
it will be there for how many years? How many months? It will be there for how many months?
3
3
by
months.
12.
3 months.
3 months होगा या पूरे साल के लिए होगा?
So dilution तो for 9 months and basic EPS for 3 months, right?
Any 1 second. First April 20x1. 31st March 20x2. Yeah, 1st April 20x2. 31st March 20x3. And here it is 1st of January 20x2. Am I right? Yes. So on this date, I am having a bonus issue as well as convertible debentures. Bonus issue and convertible debentures. Is it
So,
okay? Yes.
whole year के लिए।
PDF that has been uploaded on Boss portal, I've downloaded that. In
Yes.
that, issue date is 1st January X3.
Is it 1st Jan? मैंने जो अपलोड किया है ये वही है यार. Okay, 1 minute. Let me just check. This is the PDF, right? That's what I was thinking. Something is wrong. Question 19. Let me check. Each issued on 1st January X3. Yes. What I was looking at. Please make this 1st January X3. Okay. All right. My bad. So we remove this and we come here. 1st January 20x3 convertible debentures. Is it okay? Yes, thanks Pooja for just bringing this to the attention. Okay. So now it is there for a period of how many months? It is there only for a period of 3 months. Yes or no? Bolo.
Yes, sir.
So therefore 10 lakh into 3 by 12. So this comes to 2,50,000. This comes to 2,50,000. Any doubts here? No
No,
doubts?
sir.
All right. So up till now, it is clear. Up until now, it is clear. Now, all right. Will I have potential equity shares for X1, X2? Answer is no, because that time the debentures were not in issuance at all. Is it okay? Yes. So not applicable. Any doubts so far?
Sir, can you please explain once again this 2,50,000 and this timeline due to network problem?
Okay, fine. There is a small modification in the question. I just noted that there is an inconsistency between the PDF and the this presentation which is uploaded. You have to mention that.
Date correction is in bonus issue also and such a convertible debentures issue
Okay,
also.
fine. Bonus anyways वो कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. Okay, bonus it will not matter really. Okay, so number of 12% convertible debentures of 100 each issued on 1st January 20x3. Okay, bonus it really won't matter, but if it is there, it is there. Okay, all right. You can take it here also. But for bonus, the issuance won't change. All right. Now, let us understand the timeline. 31st March X. So I'm calculating the EPS for 2 years, X1, X2 as well as X2, X3. Convertible debentures are issued on 1st January X3, whereby you have issued 1 lakh debentures, each convertible into 10 equity shares. So 10 equity shares means 10 into 1 lakh, I am having 10 lakh potential equity shares. Yes or no? Do you agree?
Yes, sir.
And because they are issued on 1st of January 20x3, Can I say they were in issuance only for 3 months? Yes.
Yes.
So 10
Yes.
lakh into 3 by 12, that gives you 2,50,000 for the purposes of diluted EPS. Okay.
Yes. Yes,
So
sir.
that takes care of this 2,50,000. Now coming to the bonus that is there. Coming to the bonus that is there. Okay. Okay, fine. Since we have anyways done the correction, let us stick to that. I'm having a bonus issue here as well. Okay. So bonus issue is of how many shares? 1 share for every 2 held. So here I'm getting 25 lakh 125. So for 3 months, these were present. But tell me one thing, bonus is always there right from the beginning of the earliest reported period. That is why we have considered 25 lakhs across all the categories which we are computing. यहाँ तक ठीक है? Is
Yes,
it?
sir.
अच्छा. Now, is it done? All my weighted average number of equity shares are done, or am I still left with something? Savita, Shabbir, Niranjan, Pooja. Can I say that? ध्यान से सुनो अभी. Can I say that 2,50,000 you are saying that it is potential? Yes. आप कह रहे हो potential है? बोलो. 2,50,000 shares are potential in X2, X3?
Yes, sir.
Yes. अगर ये potential हुए, तो bonus issuance also will be possible on the potential equity shares?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Bonus issue. So 10 lakh shares divided by 2. Do you agree to this? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Jeannie, Savita, Pooja,
Yes,
Sir,
Mamta. Yes, बताइए.
sir, you earlier mentioned that even if the bonus date is X2 or X3, it won't matter.
It
But
doesn't.
the date was one X2, and
Yes.
this potential equity has
Okay,
been
it will matter because the convertible debentures have come into existence from 1st January 20X3. That's right. Okay, that's right. All right, fine. Now tell me, this 2,50,000 जो potential shares है, can I say that for those potential shares which are in issuance from 1st January 20X3 by virtue of them being potential, can I say that उसके ऊपर bonus is also possible to be potential?
yes.
Yes, everyone?
Yes, sir.
And therefore कितना bonus आएगा? 2,50,000 का half आएगा या फिर will it be 10 lakh shares का half?
10 lakh shares का half.
It will be half of 10 lakh. It will not be half of 2,50,000 because 2,50,000 is weighted for time. But bonus is never weighted for time. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
2,50,000 is weighed for time. Time का impact आ चुका है वहां पे. It is 1/4. But bonus is वो समय के अनुसार नहीं चलता है. वो बोनस है तो बोनस है तो बोनस है बस. So therefore I will have 5 lakh shares. Am I okay with this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sure. Now, will this bonus be part of basic EPS for X2, X3?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Since it is bonus.
ध्यान से सोचो. Will this bonus be a part of basic EPS calculation for X2, X3?
सर बेसिक में नहीं आएगा सर.
Basic में नहीं आएगा.
Basic,
Adjusted.
it will not come. It will not come for basic because this is computed on the potential shares which are there. Are you able to follow?
Yes, sir.
दिस
Yes,
इज
sir.
ऑन पोटेंशियल। सर यहाँ पे पोटेंशियल है ही नहीं सर, तो यहाँ पे बोनस भी नहीं आएगा। आर वी ओके विद दिस?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
अच्छा, एडजस्टेड ईपीएस फॉर x1 x2 विल बोनस कम और नॉट कम?
आएगा sir.
Yes, sir.
आएगा।
Yes, sir.
ममता,
Adjusted
जिनी,
देखने आएगा।
कविता,
Yes, sir.
शबरी, यस, प्लीज कंफर्म इफ यू आर देयर।
Yes,
यस,
sir.
आएगा, इट विल कम हियर। ओके, कितना आएगा? 5 लाख।
Confirmed.
यस, इज इट ओके?
Yes, sir.
दिस 5 lakh is coming because of comparability. This 5 lakh is coming because of comparability. This 5 lakh is coming because there is an actual bonus that has happened on 1st January 20x3. Are we okay with this? Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
And here this 5 lakh is not coming because the bonus is on potential shares and not on actuals. Are we okay with this?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So now take the total. This will be 75 lakh 375. This will be 82 lakh 50,375, and this will be 80 lakhs 375. Are we okay with this? Yes. Interesting.
मुझे आना है।
Yes. So we shall proceed further. Okay. All right. Now, computation of basic and diluted EPS. Basic EPS, dilution adjustment, adjusted EPS. Net profit 75 lakh 50 for previous year, 1 crore 25,000 for current year. Is it okay till now? कुछ किया नहीं है, जो डेटा है वही लिखा है, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Next. Do I have any incremental earnings? Yes, I have incremental earnings. 1 lakh into 12% into rupees 100 into 12% into 3 by 12 into 100 minus 30%. Are we okay with this?
Yes, sir.
Two lakh 10,000. So basic में तो this will not come. Dilution में this is definitely going to come. अच्छा, एडजस्टेड में भी नहीं आएगा बिकॉज इट वॉज नॉट एट ऑल इन इश्यूएंस. सो नेट प्रॉफिट फॉर अर्निंग्स पर शेयर वन crore 2,35,000 75,50,000 weighted average number of equity shares so therefore EPS बस डिवाइड करो you will get your answers.
सर सर कोई ऐसा केस होता है जिसमें डाइल्यूशन और एंटी डाइल्यूशन बोनस के केस में भी होगा?
Bonus won't be there, but we'll come across a question where there is anti-dilution also. Okay, bonus के केस में you won't have an anti-dilution. Because bonus क्या करता है? Bonus is only increasing the denominator. Numerator remains the same, right? It's not impacting my numbers in any case. So there you
ओके
won't
सर.
have any anti-dilution. Any anti-dilution. Yeah. Okay, so that takes care of this question. Okay. Done? Shall we proceed further?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine.
Great, sir.
All right. Good. So now we move on to the next question. Okay. Determining the sequence for computing diluted EPS. Okay. This has come as an examination question for you. Okay, this has come as an examination question once. So from that perspective, yes, it's important. So how do I calculate? Suppose in your capital structure, you have stock options, you have convertible debentures, you have convertible preference shares, you have multiple instruments, each of which becomes a potential share, each of which becomes a potential share. Now, what the standard wants is you have to factor in all these instruments to arrive at the maximum possible dilution. Did you understand? You have to factor in all these instruments to arrive at the maximum possible dilution. And that will be your reported EPS. That will be your reported diluted EPS. Are we okay with this? Yes. So when I'm having multiple shares or multiple potential shares in my capital structure, I am faced with one dilemma. कौन सा include करूं, कौन सा include नहीं करूं? What should I include? What should I not include in order for me to arrive at the maximum possible dilution? Is it okay? There may be some cases where you will have no dilution. There may be some cases where you may have a high dilution. So this permutation combination, how do I manage that? I think you have studied this in your inter also. So same method of calculation is there. Tarika same hai, concept also is the same. So what we have to do is, for each potential ordinary shares, compute earnings per incremental ordinary shares. That is nothing but adjusted net profit after tax expense, additional potential dilutive ordinary shares issuable. Okay. So earnings per incremental ordinary share is nothing but step 1 divided by step 2. So what is stage A? You will calculate potential dilution. You will calculate potential dilution on each category. So earnings per incremental ordinary share. We have already done one question. So वैसे ही for each category you will do it. Rank the various types of potential ordinary shares based on step 3 above. मतलब from the basis of this figure, you have to assign rankings to each of the instruments. So if I have options, option का एक calculation आएगा, earnings per incremental share. Options के अलावा you will have the next one as, what you call, suppose convertible debentures. So uska aega. Then you have preferences. So convertible preferences. So 3-4 instruments ka you will do the calculation separately and then you will assign the ranking. First rank is given for the least EPS per incremental ordinary share and so on in ascending order. So सबसे lower जो है you will give the first rank. Then as and when the earnings per incremental share increases, you will increase the rankings. Ascending order. Compute diluted EPS in the following manner. You will first compute basic EPS. Then step by step, you will go on adding. Add net profit and additional shares for each potential ordinary share in the ascending order described above. Calculate diluted EPS at each stage. Select the least diluted EPS which shall be reported. If diluted EPS increases at any stage, that type of potential ordinary share will be considered anti-diluted. Is it okay? Yes. So we'll look at an application of this. So that you are able to understand these steps. Okay. All right. From the following information of Bhadrachalam Limited, determine the order in which dilutive potential equity shares should be considered in the computation of diluted EPS. Net profit attributable to equity shareholders 1.5 crores. Number of equity shares outstanding 25 lakhs. Average fair value of one equity share during the year is ₹100. Details of potential equity shares. You are having 1,20,000 options with an exercise price of 75 per share. Convertible preference shares, 10 lakh shares entitled to a cumulative dividend of 8 per share. Conversion ratio 4 equity shares for every preference share held. 15% convertible debentures of 100 each, 12 lakhs, each debenture entitled to 2 equity shares. Assume corporate income tax rate is 30% and dividend distribution tax rate is 10%. Okay. So shall we start? Yes. Have you done this question in your intermediate, similar type? Yes. कुछ याद है?
Yes, sir.
Okay. तो किया होगा तो ठीक है. I don't have Bhadrachal. Yes. All right. So now let us look at the way how we calculate. So first one is how many types of potential ordinary shares are there? Options, convertible preference shares, convertible debentures. So 3 types are there. So I have to do earnings per incremental share calculation for 3 of them. So computation of additional earnings per incremental share to determine the rankings. So what will I do? Options, convertible preference shares, convertible debentures. Okay. So now when I talk about options, how many shares are there? How many shares can I get? 1,20,000 shares with an exercise price of 75 per share. Okay. So I have to calculate what is the potential equity shares. What is the potential equity shares which are present? See. The fair value of your instrument is worth 100. Do you agree? Yes. They have given that here, right? Average fair value is ₹100. But you have given an option at which price?
75 per share.
75 per share. So can I say that can I say that 25 per share is the bonus element? Can I say that 25 per share is the bonus or the potential share element? Yes or no? See, if you had to issue the share at fair value, how much are you going to get?
100.
100. But आपने क्या किया? You gave an option with an exercise price of 75. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Now, when you have given an option with an exercise price of 75, do you think that this option is favorable for the holder?
Yes, sir. He will get less than the fair value amount.
उसको एक शेयर 75 में मिल रहा है जबकि
Yes.
उसका फेयर वैल्यू 100 है. Yes.
Hmm.
That means he is getting benefited at 25 per share.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So therefore, do you think he will exercise this option?
Yes, sir.
वो एक्सरसाइज करने को उसका मन करेगा, वो करेगा या नहीं इज अ डिफरेंट मैटर. वेदर ही एक्सरसाइजेस और नॉट इज डिफरेंट. ही में से मैं थोड़ा सा और वेट करूंगा, मार्केट ऊपर जाएगा, देन आई विल डू द एक्सरसाइज. दैट्स फाइन. बट एज ऑन टुडेस पोजीशन, कैन आई से दैट आई हैव गिवन 25 rupees per option as a potential ordinary share for these options? Yes or no? See, 100 के सामने मुझे 75 का कैश मिल रहा है. So that is not potential share. Are you able to understand? Yes. When I get cash against my shares, it is not going to be potential. अगर cash against shares is potential, तब तो आप कभी कैलकुलेट कर ही नहीं पाओगे डाइल्यूटेड ईपीएस. सर क्यों? ऐसे तो कितने पोटेंशियल फ्यूचर ऑप्शन, फ्यूचर ऑफर्स, आईपीओस कितने सारे हैं तुम्हारे ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के लिए. यू कैन मेक टेक इट लिमिटलेस. यू कैनॉट पुट एन एंड टू इट फॉर द shares against which you are going to get money in cash. So my potential shares is that free element which I am giving. Are you able to understand?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So 1,20,000 is the number of shares into 25 by 100. Are we able to understand? So that is equal to 30,000 shares. ठीक है? Yes. What is this 30,000 shares? These are the potential shares which are present in your capital structure as part of the options. मोनिका समझ में आ गया?
Yes, sir.
Yes. सविता, पूजा, जीनी, उषा, शब्बीर.
Yes.
और
Yes, sir. Clear.
So 30,000 equity shares represents the additional number of equity shares, potential shares. When options are exercised, will it give the company any income?
No, sir.
No. So therefore, additional net profit is 0. And therefore, earnings per equity incremental share is 0. Are you able to follow? Yes?
Yes, sir.
All right. Convertible preference shares. 10 lakh shares, 8 per share, 10 lakh into 8 plus 8%. Sorry, plus 10% thereon, plus 10% thereon. So that comes to 88 lakhs. Are you okay with this 88 lakhs?
Yes, sir.
Divided by how many shares? How many shares? 10 lakh shares. Conversion is 4 equity shares for every preference share held. So 10 lakh into 4, 40 lakh shares. Are we able to follow?
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So your earnings per incremental share is going to be 88 lakhs divided by 40 lakhs. So that comes to 2.2. That comes to 2.2. Any doubts so far?
No, sir.
No doubts? Okay. Coming to the last one, 15% convertible debentures of 100 each. So 12 lakh into rupees 100 into 15%, into 100 minus 30%. So that comes to 1.26 crores. That comes to 1.26 crores. Are you okay with the calculations?
Yes, sir.
Sure. Yes, Usha, Sabita, Shabir, Pooja, Jeannie,
Yes, sir.
all
Yes,
clear?
sir, clear.
Okay, ठीक है. Monica has anyways confirmed. तो ये हो गया मेरा 1.26 crores. And how many shares are you going to get? Each debenture is entitled to 2 equity shares. Is entitled for 2 equity shares. Okay. So 12 lakh into 2, 24 lakhs. So earnings per incremental 1.26 by 24 lakhs. This comes to 5.25. 5.25. Any doubts so far? Any doubts?
No,
No
sir.
doubts, sir.
So now I'm having all the 3 incrementals. So the question is, who will get the first ranking? Options, because that is 0. Then it will be convertible preference share, and finally it will be taken to the convertible debenture, which is the 3rd category. Yes. So far, any doubts? No doubts. So let
No,
us
sir.
move further. Computation of diluted EPS in the above sequence. आपको यही sequence maintain करना पड़ेगा. First one is options, second is convertible, third one is convertible debentures. Okay, यही आप maintain करो. So now let us come to the data. Net profit attributable to equity holders 1.5 crores divided by 25 lakhs. 1.5 divided by 25 lakhs. Earnings per share is 6. Any doubt so far? Any doubts? Just give me a minute. Just okay. So did we understand this? First part you understood, basic EPS calculation, which is 1.5 divided by 25 lakhs. All clear?
Yes, sir.
Then let us move on to the next one. Now we adjust it one by one. Which is the first ranking? Sir, first ranking is options. So then I will first consider options. If I consider options, the additional net profit will be 0. But the additional number of equity shares that get added is 30,000. So I will add 0 for profit and 30,000 for shares. So that comes to 1.5 crore divided by 25 lakh 30,000. Is it okay? So that comes to 5.93. When I compare 5.93 to 6, it is dilutive. It is dilutive. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Jeannie, did you follow? Savita, Shabir?
Yes, sir.
sir.
Clear.
Okay, ठीक है. Next, we move on to the next one, that is preference shares. Preference shares के case में I have added 88 lakhs. Yes. And when I add 88 lakhs, the number of shares that should be added back is 40 lakhs. This is the potential shares. So this comes to 40 lakhs. So total 150 plus 88, 2.38 divided by 65 lakh 30,000. So that comes to 3.64. Again, can I say there is a further dilution that has happened? Yes.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
ठीक है. Savita, ठीक है?
हाँ जी.
Okay. All right. Next, we move on to adjustment for debentures. 1.26 crores is what we had computed as addition to the profits, and 24 lakhs is the additional number of equity shares, that is 24 lakhs. So 1.26 crore, 24 lakhs. So that comes to 3.64 crores divided by 89 lakh 30. So 4.08. So that is anti-dilutive. 3.64 say it has become 4.08. You can see the dilution is getting reversed. It is increasing. So it becomes anti-dilutive. So what am I going to report? I am going to report basic EPS and diluted EPS. Are you okay with this?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Perfect.
Yes,
तो
sir.
अपने को सब समझ में आ गया है as far as the methodology is concerned for the purposes of determining the sequence for computing diluted EPS. Okay. ठीक है. So that is done. This is also done. All right. Fine. ठीक है. So now what I'm going to do is I will leave question number 21 for homework. Okay. I will leave question number 1 for homework, and then we shall continue. Okay. I'm almost done with diluted EPS. ठीक है. All right. Next, determining the sequence for computing diluted EPS. We take a quick break, 10 minutes. We
Yes,
shall
sir.
continue at 9, and then we shall close diluted EPS in all respects. Till now, any doubts, Savita?
सर आज अभी जो होमवर्क दिए है वो कर लेते हैं, अगर कुछ प्रॉब्लम आती है उसमें तो नेक्स्ट क्लास में फिर वो डिस्कस कर लेंगे.
हाँ, डिस्कस कर लेंगे. नो प्रॉब्लम. ओके. मोनिका, शब्बीर, पूजा, कोई डाउट? जीनी?
No, sir.
सर इसमें तो नहीं है कोई डाउट, बट कल जो आपने लास्ट लेक्चर में जो होमवर्क दिया था ना, उसमें थोड़ा सा कुछ पूछना था.
लास्ट क्लास में कौन सा दिया था
सर
मैंने?
आपने कुछ सम्स दिए थे.
अच्छा अच्छा. ओके. ओके. फाइन फाइन फाइन. ठीक है. मैं एक काम करता हूँ. दोस डाउट्स ना वी विल, आज भी क्वेश्चंस मिलेंगे होमवर्क के लिए, कुछ मिले हैं
हम्म.
ऑलरेडी.
अच्छा.
I will stick to your doubts for
हम्म.
Saturday, because Saturday को क्या रहता है, I have time to take up after
यस
10,
सर.
10 to 10:30, 10:45 के बीच में we will do only your homework question. Saturday I have a very small standard to do with you, that is Ind AS 108, I think. That should
हम्म.
get over in around 2 hours 45 minutes, 2 hours 30 minutes में I can wrap it up. Then we can discuss your queries relating to homework. Okay?
ओके सर. ओके
Okay,
सर.
fine. So we take a break now. We reconnect at 9. Okay?
यस सर.
All right. ठीक है, fine. Welcome back. So coming to our next part. Okay. So options and warrants, we consider only the free or bonus element in the option, right? So when I say the free or bonus element, we saw in the working that we just now did, that we have considered only 25 by 100 as the potential share, right? Potential equity share, and not the entire value of 100, because out of 100, which is the fair value, 75 I'm actually getting money for, and therefore I cannot consider entire 100 or 75. So bonus element hai, that is the only potential ordinary share that I'm considering. Okay, so that is considered. Free element is equal to shares issued on exercise of options minus number of options into exercise price divided by average market price. This free element would be added to the denominator. We have already done this. Okay. Refer question. कौन सा था वो? 20. Refer question 20. Okay. Refer 20. Okay. Options generally do not involve any payouts in the form of interest or dividend, and therefore adjustment to numerator would generally be nil. However, if options are measured at FVTPL, fair value gain or loss would be adjusted in the numerator. You will study this when you do your financial instruments. But for now, what we have done is exactly the same. We have not done anything different. यही किया है हम लोगों ने. Okay? All right. Fine. Now, ABC Limited has issued 20 lakh shares. It has also issued 1 lakh warrants convertible into shares. The average convertible into shares at rupees 45 per share. The average market price of shares was rupees 25, was rupees 45. How would these shares be treated for computing diluted EPS? Yes, tell me. What is the fair value of the shares? Fair value of shares कितना है?
45.
45. You have issued warrants at what price?
45.
45. तो बताओ, आपने तो मार्केट वैल्यू पे ही इश्यू किया है ना? So therefore, is there any bonus element for these warrants?
No, sir.
No. So therefore, आप क्या consider करोगे? You will not consider anything for the purpose
Anti-dilutive.
earnings. Okay. Do not consider for diluted EPS. Okay. Now, ABC has issued 20 lakh shares, issued 1 lakh warrants convertible into shares at rupees 30 per share. Average market price was rupees 37. So now, how would these shares be treated for computing diluted EPS?
7 rupees per share.
7 rupees per share will be considered as the bonus element. ठीक है? तो 7 rupees per share आपका bonus element होगा. And will these warrants have any impact on the profit? Answer is no. Because वो profit के ऊपर उसका कोई impact नहीं रहता है. So they will just convert their warrants into shares in the future without any implication on the profitability. So you will not add anything in the profit, but in the new denominator, 7 rupees per share के हिसाब से आप potential shares calculate करोगे, and that will be added in the denominator as part of your diluted EPS. Okay, and it will be dilutive because आपका numerator is not increasing, but denominator is going up. Okay, so that takes care of this part. In 20X1, ABC Limited issued some staff share options that can be exercised after 3 years of service. Okay, so now tell me. share options that can be exercised after 3 years. How would these options be treated for computing diluted EPS? क्या करोगे आप?
So जिस दिन ये शेयर ऑप्शंस उन्होंने इशू किए थे मींस द ग्रांट डेट विल बी कंसीडर्ड फॉर कंप्यूटिंग द डाइल्यूटेड अर्निंग पर शेयर इन
That's right. And will anything be added to the numerator?
नो
No, कुछ नहीं होगा. Okay. So it's a regular option. It will be regarded as potential from the date of the grant, and then it will continue to remain potential until the issue actually happens. There won't be any addition to the net profit attributable to equity shareholders. So that takes care of this example. Okay. I leave this question to you for homework. Options का है weighted average number of equity shares is 4 lakhs. Weighted average number of shares under option is 2 lakhs. Exercise price is 20. Market price is 25. So you know what needs to be done. So I leave this question to you for homework. And this also you can do for homework. Okay. Shares in issue 10 lakh, profit rupees 1 lakh, average fair value rupees 8, 2 lakh options with exercise price of rupees 6. So this also you can try it out for homework. Any doubts so far?
No, sir.
No doubts. Okay, fine. So then let us move on. At 31st December 20x7 and 20x8, the issued share capital of an entity consisted of 40 lakh ordinary shares of rupees 25 each. The entity has granted options that give the holders the right to subscribe for ordinary shares between Y6 and Y9 at 70 per share. Options outstanding at 31st December 7 and 8 were 6,30,000. There were no grants, exercises, or lapses of options during the year. Profit after tax attributable is 5 lakh and 6 lakh respectively, wholly relating to continuing operations. Average market price of the share for the year ending 2067 is 120. 2068 it is 160. Calculate the basic and diluted EPS. Okay. So we'll try this out. Diluted EPS. Anticipating common share. Just a minute. Okay, perfect. We are well on track. Okay. So profit after tax is 5 lakhs and 6 lakhs respectively. Profit after tax weighted average number of equity shares is nothing but the number of shares in issue, that is, I think 40 lakh ordinary shares.
The profit after tax attributable to ordinary equity shareholders.
40 lakhs. So 6 by 40, 5 by 40. Zero 0.15. Basic EPS is 0.15, 0.125. Okay. Now, diluted EPS. Okay. Now, when we talk about diluted EPS, what is my potential equity shares in the capital structure? What are my potential equity shares?
ऑप्शन
Options. Options are my potential equity shares. So options के लिए you have given them the right to subscribe at ₹70 per share. You have given them the right to subscribe at ₹70 per share. जबकि market value at December is 120.20x7 and it is 160 thereafter. Okay. So now number of shares under option. Two zero x7 20x8 कितने शेयर्स थे 6,30,000
So number of options 6,30,000.
sorry number of options 6,30,000 multiplied by कैसे करें
70.
Price.
20x8 है ना ये so this is 160 minus 70 correct divided by 25. Any doubts here? I hope I'm doing it correctly. Issued at full market price 6,30,000 into 70 divided by 120. 6,30,000 options into 70 4.41 crores divide by 120 करेंगे so you would be having an issue of 3,67,500 in the previous year. 6,30,000 into 70 by 160 70 by 160 2,75,625 bonus element total options issued.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, I think you've written the 2008, sorry, 20.
अच्छा ऊपर नीचे हो गया क्या
Yes, sir. Actually, 125.
चेंज हो गया.
2,75,625. Is it okay?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
बट ये नहीं करना है बिकॉज ऊपर इस
8 और 7 है ऊपर. Correct.
okay all right fine so your bonus component will be the balancing figure 3,54,375 and here it will be 2,62,500. Is it okay?
सर ये बोनस एलिमेंट कैसे कैलकुलेट किया?
Bonus element is very simple. See, I had 6,30,000 options. Yes.
Yes.
6,30,000 options के सामने I would have collected 70 rupees. So 6,30,000, what is 70? 70 is the exercise price. Yes, at rupees
Yes.
70 per share. So मैंने कितना collect किया होगा 4,41 lakhs. Okay.
Yes.
But अगर यही amount, if I had to go to the open market and collect, How many shares would I have to issue? Take the fair value divided by 120. Okay. So मैं कितना issue करता? 3,67,500. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
But आप कितना issue कर रहे हो? 6,30,000. So what is the bonus element? That is nothing but the balancing figure, 2,62,500. Did you follow?
Yes, sir.
Same for 20x8. Okay. Now, so what is your total number of shares? Therefore, total number of shares for diluted EPS will be 40 lakh basic plus कितना ऐड करोगे? 6,30,000 और 3,54,000 और 2,75,000.
The 275.
Will you take this or will you take this or will you take this? Option A, option B, option C, option D, none of the above. बोलो.
सर डाइल्यूटिव के लिए 354 375.
Yes, dilutive के लिए we will be taking 3,54,375. क्यों? Because these are potential shares in your capital structure which will come just because you have given these warrants at below the market value. Did you understand?
Yes, sir.
आपको 2,75,000 is the market value of those options. So market at the market value कितने shares आपको मिलेंगे? So this is as if it is a fresh issue of 2,75,000 shares. So there is no problem. The issue arises कि you are issuing 6,30,000 shares against which your consideration is worth only 2,75,000. So 3,54,000 today's date is a potential number of shares which can come into your capital structure. So that comes to 43,54,375. And here also 40 lakhs plus 2,62,500. So 42,62,500. Are we okay with this? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Therefore, diluted EPS will be 6 lakh divided by 43,54,375, and then here it will be 5 lakhs divided by 42,62,500. So 6,43,54,375 rupees 0.138, and here 5 lakh divided by 42,62,500 rupees 0.117. So compare it with the basic 0.138, 0.15, 0.117, 0.125. Is there a dilution?
Yes.
Both the
Yes, sir.
cases, there is a dilution. Savita, Jeannie?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So therefore, this will be your reported numbers. Reported diluted EPS. So that takes care of illustration 10. Okay. Fine. Acha. You have this RTP question, which is again very simple. You don't really need my intervention. Following information pertains to an entity. Okay. Net profit 12 lakhs. Weighted average number of shares outstanding 5 lakhs. Average market price is 20. Weighted average number of shares under option 1 lakh. Exercise price per share under option 15. Calculate basic and diluted EPS. कर सकते हो?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
nothing for me to do. Okay, all right. And this is also part of your illustration number 11. Okay, same है क्या? 12 lakh, 5 lakh, 20. Yes. So this also, I mean, एक करोगे दोनों हो जाएंगे. Okay, all right, fine. Next. Next one is illustration 9. Let us do this. थोड़ा सा, I won't say difficult, but there is one thing that you will have to just take it for the time being and solve. And then, once you do your financial instruments, you can take it into consideration. Okay. At 30th June 20x1, the issued share capital of an entity consisted of 15 lakh ordinary shares of rupee 1 each. On 1st October, the entity issued rupees 12 lakh 50,000 of 8% convertible loan stock for cash at par. Each rupees 100 nominal of the loan stock may be converted at any time during the years ended 20x6 to x9 into the number of ordinary shares set out below. x6 135 ordinary shares, x7 130, x8 125, x9 120 ordinary shares. If the loan stocks are not converted by 20x9, they would be redeemed at par. This illustration assumes that the return equity conversion option is accounted for as a derivative liability and marked to market through the P&L, which is how it should happen as per the Ind AS on financial instruments. The change in the option's fair value reported in 20x2 and x3 amounted to losses of 2,500 and 2,650 respectively. It is assumed that there are no tax consequences arising from these losses. The profit before interest, fair value movements, and taxation for the year ended 30th June 20x2 and x3 amounted to rupees 8,25,000 and 8,95,000 respectively and relate wholly to continuing operations. The rate of tax for both the periods is 33%. Calculate basic and diluted EPS. Okay. Yes. So what is happening here? Number one, are you having convertible loans? Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
अच्छा.
Yes, sir.
तो potential shares है मेरे capital structure में. Correct?
Yes.
Question is, do you know when these loans will be converted into equity shares?
First of no.
Do you know when will it be? On 1st of October, I have issued the convertible loan.
yes, sir.
On which date will they be converted into shares?
Between 2006 to 9.
Is
Until
it
2009.
year on year at this rate, और अगर 20x6 में किया तो 135, x6 में छोड़ के x7 में किया तो 130. So my point is, are these dates cumulative, मतलब एक होगा फिर दूसरा होगा फिर तीसरा होगा, और are they mutually exclusive? Mutually exclusive का
Mutually
मतलब
exclusive.
yes, it is mutually exclusive. सर mutually exclusive क्या होता है? Mutually exclusive मतलब अगर 30th जून x6 को कन्वर्ट हुआ तो बाकी के 3 साल ऑब्वियसली नहीं होगा. अगर x6 को छोड़ के x7 को कन्वर्जन ऑप्शन एक्सरसाइज किया, then it won't be available in x8 and x9. x8 में किया, then it won't be available in x9. x9 में किया तो that is the last, you have to do it by that time. Are you able to understand? Yes.
Yes, sir.
तो आप बताओ, is it cumulative or is it mutually exclusive? These dates. क्या लिखा है? Each 100 nominal of the loan stock may be converted at any time during these years into the number of ordinary shares set out below. So conversion कैसे होगा? Either date 1 or date 2 or date 3 or date 4. Is it okay? साथ में तीन चारों नहीं हो सकते. Is it okay? So we call them as mutually exclusive. So now my point to you is, when they are mutually exclusive, what is the conversion ratio that you will have to take for the purposes of diluted EPS workings?
Most beneficial one, that is on X6.
Most beneficial to whom? Most beneficial to the holder of the shares or to the issuer?
Holder, sir.
Holder. Most beneficial to the holder of the shares. Are you able to understand? Because most beneficial to the holder means the holder will get maximum number of shares. Holder gets maximum number of shares means I as the entity have to issue the maximum number of shares. If I as an entity have to issue maximum number of shares, then that would give rise to the maximum possible dilution. Are you able to understand?
Yes, sir.
Yes, perfect. So that is the first takeaway. That is the first takeaway. Okay, that we are going to take the maximum number of the maximum conversion rate for these shares. Okay. Now let us come to the workings. Let us come to the workings. Profit before earnings. Sorry, profit before tax, interest, and fair value movements. So that gives me 2 years का profit दिया है ना, 20x2 and x3. So 20x3 8,95,000, 8,25,000.
Changes and options. Year 12.
8,25,000. Is it okay? Now, from here, see, I have to calculate my EPS. EPS is net profit attributable to shareholders. So therefore, I will have to deduct tax, interest, and fair value movements. So less interest on 8% loan stock. So what is your interest on 8% loan stock?
So it is issued on October, so the proportionate period time interest will taken.
कहाँ दिया है? Issued convertible
Starting with
loan.
year. On 1st October, issued 12,50,000, 8%.
Rupees 12,50,000 into कितने साल, कितने महीने के लिए होगा?
3 months का हो गया.
3 months का होगा, 9 months का होगा. What is the year ending?
March.
मार्च नहीं है, जून है.
So
The year ended
Yes, sir. June है.
June.
30th June 2002 and 2003.
2002, 20x2 and 20x3. So the year ending is 20x2. So I have issued it on 1st October x1. So how many months for year 1?
9 months.
That is 12,50,000 into 8% into 9 by 12. So that is equal to how much?
75,000.
75,000. This is for 20x2. 20x3 के लिए
1 lakh.
8%. 1 lakh. Any doubts so far?
Yes, sir. It's clear till now.
All clear till now. ठीक है. Next. See, change in options fair value amounted to losses of 2,500 and 2,650. It is assumed that there are no tax consequences. It is assumed that there are no tax consequences. So right now I will subtract this.
सर इस लाइन का मतलब समझ नहीं आया.
कौन सा वाला?
Changes in the options fair value reported in X2, X3 amounted to losses of this one and this one.
ये लाइन का मतलब समझने के लिए आपको फाइनेंशियल इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स पढ़ना पड़ेगा. फॉर नाउ व्हाट यू अंडरस्टैंड इज दिस इज चेंज इन द फेयर वैल्यू ऑफ द ऑप्शंस. ओके,
Okay.
इतना बस समझ लो. दिस इज नथिंग बट चेंज इन फेयर वैल्यू ऑफ ऑप्शंस.
Okay.
ओके, ऑल राइट. सो इसका हम सब्ट्रैक्ट करेंगे 8,25,000 माइनस 75, 7,50,000. Tax at which rate? What is the tax rate? 33%. 7,95,033. 2,62,350. 2,47,500. 5,32,650. 5,02,500. Less fair value changes in respect of option. They said there are no tax consequences. That means these are not allowable for taxation purposes. So this is 2,500 and 2,650 and 2,500. So that gives you 5,30,000 and 5 lakhs. This is net profit attributable to equity shareholders divided by number of shares outstanding. How much is it? 15 lakhs.
15 lakhs.
So 5,30,000, 15 lakhs. Three, 333. Okay, so this is your basic EPS. Are we okay? Yes.
Yes.
All right. Now, next one, I am having to calculate. So basic EPS, any doubts? Anyone in basic EPS calculation?
No.
No doubt, sir.
कोई doubt नहीं है. So calculation of basic EPS. Okay. All right. Illustration 9. Okay. Next. Diluted EPS. Okay. When I talk about my diluted EPS workings, what are my potential shares? What are my potential shares?
Well, like 50,000 loan.
That 12,50,000 convertible loan जो है, that is your potential equity shares. Those are your potential equity shares. Okay, so now let us start. Let us start earnings. Earnings. Adjusted earnings. Okay. We start off with profit for basic EPS 5,30,000 and 5 lakhs. Okay, and then add interest and other charges. Interest will be added back, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
तो फर्स्ट ईयर के लिए इंटरेस्ट कितना होगा?
1 lakh
15 lakh into 8%, sorry, 12 lakh 50.
into 8% into 9 by 12. It
Yes,
was 75,000.
yes, 75,000. And here it will be 12 lakh 50,000 into 8%,
8%.
1 lakh. Yes, and you will also add back fair value movement,
Yes, sir.
because fair value movement was possible as long as they were options. Now they are not options. They are getting converted into shares. So abhi wo option nahi rahenge. So I will add that back. 2,650, 2,500.
500.
Yes. So less tax adjustment. I will do the tax adjustment on this amount.
1
Yes.
lakh. Yes.
33%.
5%.
So 33,000. And here also only on 70.
75,000.
So that comes
It
to
will be 24,750.
yes, 24,000.
750.
Did you understand, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Monica?
Yes, sir.
ठीक है, चलेगा. Jeannie?
Yes, sir. Clear.
All right. So that takes care of adjusted earnings. 5,30,000 plus 5,99,650. 5,52,7. Okay, so this is your adjusted earnings. And then calculation of weighted average number of equity shares. Number of shares for basic EPS 15 lakhs.
Yes, sir.
Add number of shares on conversion. How many shares are they getting converted into? 135. We will
Yes.
assume the conversion happens to the maximum. So 12,50,000 is, obviously we take it as rupees 100. Yes, it's given each rupees 100. So 12,50,000, 12,500 into 135. 16,87,500. And this will be into 135 into 9 by 12. 1265,625. Are you okay?
Yes, sir.
So this gives me 31,87,500, 27,65,625. Adjusted weighted average number of shares. This is A, this is B. diluted EPS A divided by B. So 599, 650, 31, 87, 500, 0.19 एंड यहाँ पे होगा 0.20. Are we okay with this? Is there a dilution that is happening? Yes, 0.35 coming down to 0.19, 0.33 coming down to 0.20. So reported. Any doubts?
No, sir.
Clear? Monica, ठीक है?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So that takes care of this example. Okay. All right. This I will explain. Acha. Okay. So that is done. All right then. So that's it. Next, we will look at these questions in the next session. Okay. It's almost done. We don't have much left. Okay. Next session, we'll have two new concepts: participating preference shares and contingently issuable shares, and some presentation of EPS. That's about it. Okay. Nothing else. Okay. All right. So with that, I think we are almost through. I'll do one thing. I will leave some things for homework. I want you to try solving this illustration by yourself. You will have to refer the theory that is there in the study module. I want you to read that by yourself and come. It will make a lot of sense. Okay. All right. Just a minute.
Sir,
Yes.
one question. Sir, ये लोन का क्वेश्चन था. लोन इज इक्वल्स टू डिबेंचर, राइट?
Yes.
इसलिए हमने जो फेयर मार्केट वैल्यू और बोनस एलिमेंट कंसिडर नहीं किया, राइट?
कौन सा फेयर वैल्यू की बात कर रहे हो आप?
सर, इन केस फेयर वैल्यू और बोनस कुछ दिया होता, जैसे कि
हाँ
लास्ट
हाँ, नहीं करते बिकॉज दिस
नहीं
इज
करते.
अ लोन और डिबेंचर बॉन्ड व्हाट एवर इट इज. ओके.
ओके सर,
सेम
बस
ट्रीटमेंट.
सेम. ठीक है, ओके.
सेम ट्रीटमेंट. फेयर वैल्यू विल बी कंसिडर्ड फॉर वारंट
ऑप्शंस एंड वारंट्स.
ऑप्शन. उसके लिए आप कंसिडर करो.
ओके.
Yes. All right. So what I want you to do is, which question that was? 10.73 to 75. Okay. I want you to read this part. Okay. Entity with discontinued operations, and look at this control number concept. Okay. It's very simple. I will be taking it up in the next class. But my point is, agar aap karoge, then it will happen faster for me. Okay. It will happen faster. Okay. So just theory is only this much. Okay. बाकी तो ये question है. I think you will be able to understand. Okay. So that is why I have left that question to you for homework. So then we have participating preference shares, contingently issuable shares. These are the two broad things which are there, which we have to cover in the next class. Is it okay? Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
We have something related to financial instruments. Let me see. Otherwise, I will have to ask you to revisit those questions once you study financial instruments. Okay? All right, fine. So, see you guys in the next session. We
सर,
should.
नेक्स्ट सेशन में भी ये सब यही ऐसे होगा या कुछ और भी ऐड करेंगे आप साथ में, क्योंकि ये तो बहुत छोटा सा पार्ट रह गया.
नहीं, पार्ट छोटा सा है, बट दैट कंटिंजेंटली इश्यूएबल शेयर्स का जो क्वेश्चन है, दैट टेक्स ऑन एन एवरेज 1 hour. Okay. That
ओके सर.
question, ये जो question है, this is one slide, but this one slide will take us 1 hour. Okay.
ओके सर.
So यही काफी adequately institute has given the time looking at the complexities. Okay.
Thank
ओके सर.
खाली 10 स्लाइड बचे हैं, बट याद रखो नेक्स्ट सेशन में 10 बजे भी कम लगेंगे अपने को। ओके, ठीक है।
मतलब जो अब तक सीखा था वो जस्ट ओनली रिपीटिंग ऑफ कॉन्सेप्ट था, अब नया पाएगा।
हाँ, अब भी एक्चुअल में व्हाट इज एप्लीकेबल टू द फाइनल जो नया है, दैट इज व्हाट
हम्म।
इज कमिंग अप इन द नेक्स्ट क्लास। ओके, ऑल
ओके सर,
फाइन।
थैंक यू
ओके,
सर।
सो दैट्स इट फ्रॉम माय
आप
साइड।
और बाकी फैकल्टीज भी टीचिंग करते वक्त कभी कभी हमें बीच में रेफरेंस देते हो कि अगर आप ये पर्टिकुलर पोर्शन बाद में वापस से कवर कर लेना, लाइक
हाँ।
हैविंग रेफरेंस टू विद अदर इंडेक्सेस आल्सो। तो
हम्म।
क्या आप ऐसे जो भी रेफरेंसेस है जो हमें वापस आकर देखना है या उनके साथ लिंक करके फिर से रिकॉल करना है, इनके रेफरेंसेस आप नोट्स में भी इंक्लूड करके दे सकते हो क्या सर?
मैं आई मीन आई डोंट नो वो कवर कब करेंगे, क्या करेंगे, बट आई ट्राई टू पुट इन व्हाट व्हाट क्वेश्चंस यू हैव टू डू व्हेन। ओके,
So at the
मोस्ट
time
ऑफ
of revision, it will be helpful for us,
हाँ,
sir.
मोस्ट ऑफ इट आई ट्राई टू डू इट इवन दो यू वुड नॉट अंडरस्टैंड कंप्लीटली, मैं बता दूंगा। तो once you start revising this chapter, you will then be able to connect the dots. Okay, so I'll try to ensure कि मैं बता दूं आपको, then when you do the understanding of that chapter and you revise here I would already have connected the dots for you. सिर्फ आपका वहां पे जो थोड़ा बहुत dots connection है, you will do that later on and then you are sorted out for this. So I'll cover it up, but I'll just mention after which chapter it will be helpful so that you can take care of it. Okay, all
Uh,
right.
sir, please upload the annotated file also
It is done
regarding.
already for till yesterday, जो कुछ भी था सब कुछ डाल दिया है। इंडेक्स
Actually, हमें मिला
33 का
नहीं
I
है
will
ये
pull
पूछा।
afterwards. Okay, check कर लेना।
ओके सर, मैं चेक कर। ओके।
Yesterday evening is done. Okay,
ओके
all
सर।
right, fine. Thanks everyone. Thank
Thank
you.
you,
थैंक
sir.
यू टू यू टू सर।
थैंक यू सर।
Thanks.
Have a
Yes.
nice
सर।
Bye bye. Yes, sir. Done. Yes, yes, yes.